The next item on the agenda is awards and recognition, and Dr. Bound, you're going to introduce our student spotlight. First, though, I do want to recognize that Mark Hamill and Don Rattan are in the audience, and they are trustees-elect who will officially take office at our January 20th meeting. So I want to recognize them. And then we have awards and recognition, and we have another student who's going to share with us.
All right. Daniel, would you like to come up? And Daniel Gonzalez is a student at Blue Valley Northwest. And we're just so excited to have you with us. This is not to take any of his thunder, but we try to bring to you as trustees and to our community a chance to meet students that bring a different experience. And today you're going to hear another one of those examples. So Daniel, we are so pleased to have you with us. So it's all yours.
Thank you, and good evening. My name is Daniel Gonzalez. I would like to thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to be your student spotlight tonight. I'm a full-time student here at Johnson County Community College, and I'm also a junior at Blue Valley Northwest High School. I participate in a dual degree program with the Blue Valley School District and JCCC. I just completed my first semester here at JCCC recently. Currently, through the dual degree program, I'm working toward earning a high school degree, an associate degree, and a cybersecurity certificate in 2023. Here with me today is Ms. Barron, who serves as the liaison between JCCC and Blue Valley. She's one of the reasons I get to be in this program, and she has been a really great support and resource for the students being in the dual degree program through Blue Valley and JCCC. My motivation to participate in the dual degree program was my particular interest in JCCC's cybersecurity program. As you know, the cybersecurity program has been designated by the National Security Agency and the Department of Homeland Security as the National Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense Education. This is a really impressive credential that Johnson County Community College has obtained, and I feel really lucky to work towards my goals at an institution that holds really impressive credentials like this. My career goal is to eventually obtain a computer science degree and contribute to international cyber policy development, which is inspired by my years of living abroad in Europe and Africa. Due to my parents' jobs, I have had the opportunity to live abroad in Africa for 2 years and Poland for 2 years. I'm very grateful for the support that JCCC provides that is helping students like me work towards our goals. I'm fortunate to have been able to participate in several clubs and organizations here at JCCC that are helping me to develop my skills and gain exposure to my areas of interest, including Model UN, being a vice chair on the Budget Committee and Student Senate, and the Cybersecurity Club. The supportive professors, student resource centers, and extracurricular opportunities for students have made my experience at JCCC a positive one. I'm looking forward to continuing to participate at JCCC. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. I took some from up front. If you want to come on up here in front, you can come on up here and take them, but I've got one with you in it. So if somebody back there will give you my email address at JCCC, and you can have that one. Daniel, we always have some questions for our student, but I promised you they would be softballs. Dr. Cook and then Trustee Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Daniel, what a great experience you've had up to this point. Not many people can travel the way you have and have the experiences you have. So my question really isn't a softball question. I think it's a pretty hard question. What do you think is the #1 threat in cybersecurity today? Well,
there's a lot of threats going on in cybersecurity, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a recent threat in cybersecurity I don't know if you're aware of this, with Log4j. And I really think, and it's really surprised the amount of people, and I think just ready preparedness for these zero-day attacks, or attacks that these people are unknown for, and having that availability to be ready for those and be able to counter those immediately and have measures is one of the biggest threats that the cybersecurity industry is facing.
Well, I congratulate you and I wish you the very best. You represent yourself very, very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy?
I would also say you represent yourself extremely well. We're glad to have you, Blue Valley Schools. are highly regarded, so we appreciate your being here for sure. My question has more to do with cybersecurity and how did you choose cybersecurity?
Well, I'm always really interested in cybersecurity and all computers, and I've seen how it affects our world and how it's increasingly becoming more of an issue in our daily lives. And I really want to get into the industry, and I think it's very exciting. It has a lot of opportunity for me.
Well, this is one of the greatest parts of our meeting is having students come forward and tell us a little bit about themselves and their unique paths to Johnson County Community College. So welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Trustee Snyder.
Thank you for being here. So clarify for me, are you taking classes here on campus or doing everything through your?
I'm a full-time student here at JCCC.
Okay, and so how are you balancing that with how do you balance everything? I guess I'll just leave it there.
Well, I don't get a lot of sleep. I don't know, I just had to stay up on my schoolwork. It's really just working hard. I have the good work ethic, and you just have to be really passionate about what you're doing. And I think,
Well, very impressive. Keep it up.
thank you.
I bore my wife anyway, because I'm not sure this board listens, about all the international news I listen to. I mean, what role do you think cybersecurity has with Xi Jinping and his administration?
Well, I know they're very forward on their cybersecurity initiatives. I think they're one of the biggest kind of competitors that the U.S. faces inside the cybersecurity world. I think we need to be aware of them and the threat that they face.
Why would it be bad, from China's perspective, if IPOs are offered in the United States?
Could you please define an IPO for me?
Well, I think it's been interesting to watch the initial public offering. So as Chinese companies go to the U.S. or Western markets to offer their stock, that China has panicked about the data for their consumers that have been available to the Western world. So I think Xi has, you may not know anything about it, I'm just asking, do you have any perspective? Because it's not every day I get to ask somebody this.
Well, I also know that the Chinese collect data on the U.S. people, and I think it's just an interesting. I think what you're talking about is a really interesting topic and has a lot of interesting facets to it that I think are definitely of big interest for the United States right now.
I agree, and I commend you for what you're doing. I really do. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Daniel, I'm interested in your African experience. We just met David who's an international student that was at the reception from Eldoret, Kenya, where my daughter spent 3 months at a children's hospital. So where were you in Africa? What were your experiences?
Well, I was with my time in Africa. I was living in South Africa in Johannesburg, and it was a very different place and it was very lively. I really enjoyed it and it was a lot of fun, and it got to open my eyes to different people, different cultures, and a lot of different experiences that I've been able to experience and look at things differently.
Well, there are lots of connections here. Behind you, Kate Allen was the executive director of the Blue Valley Educational Foundation for a number of years. So she helped raise money to fund a lot of things in Blue Valley. Ms. Behrens, are you at Blue Valley? Are you at Blue Valley or are you here?
I'm
Both.
both,
Okay.
but mostly Blue Valley.
And mostly it's skis up for Blue Valley Northwest, right?
Wow.
So, yeah. Both my daughters went there. Daniel, thank you again for being here. I'm not, without disparaging anybody else in the room, when you leave the room, the average IQ will drop. So, Dr. Bound, do you have any closing?
Well, just a couple things. I was reminded of the fact that Daniel's a full-time student in addition to being a high school student. And we were going through the census data that we have to authorize before it goes officially to the Kansas Board of Regents. And a statistic jumped out at me as you were talking, reflecting on the data shared this morning. We have 330 approximately, I think that's the right number, 330 students who are high school students who are full-time college students at Johnson County Community College. That's a significant number. That frankly surprised me. And so you are a representative of a number of students, and as you said, has been said here many times, you've done a fantastic job of that. You brought up the zero-day cyber threats, and I want to give a shout out to our IS team. They were all over that, and I got an email the day after. cyber attacks are a very real thing. And we are incredibly fortunate to have a great team here. And I won't belabor it, but when you brought that up, it gave me the perfect chance to do a shout out to our IS team. So Daniel, thank you so much for being with us. Ms. Behrens, thank you so much for being with us and supporting our students together. And enjoy some downtime. Congratulations.
Best wishes.